What's the one decision you took that made sense to no one but changed everything?
When we started this, you know how the mindset in Gujarat is. Paisa kya thi house? When will be the break even? When will be the profitability? But one leap of faith was taken because the purpose was far bigger than the profit. That overridden everything, and that was something which changed everything.
What do most founders get completely wrong?
They consider their own problem as the problem of the world.
Does it make any difference if you are the first mover?
First mover advantage helps when you are in the market at right time with the right product.
So, how does Hind Social bridge the gap by bringing the right knowledge to today's generation?
We prefer to onboard the researchers and scholars who have spent their entire life in studying about the Indian culture, Indian society, the history and mythology.
Do you really feel that this generation has the sense of belonging?
In fact, Gen Zs need it far more than it ever needed before. Bollywood is also investing heavily into it. The kind of Bollywood movies that we are seeing with the religious figures, right? Narsimha thi, Kalki hai. So these movies, why are they attracting so much audience? Why are they doing so beautifully?
Today's time, when we talk about a lot of the generations facing anxiety, depression, how do you think that such message that we are trying to pass of having a one-person mindset, how can we give that message?
Whether it's an athlete who wins the championship, they would have gone through so many series of failures. They would have hurt themselves so badly, but then still persistently kept doing that. तो वो सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है.
How would you say this in a better way to somebody who is right now creating an idea?
Instead of connecting with the outer world for solving a problem, rather than that, if you connect with your inner world, the answers lies within you.
Based upon your current industry or project or idea that you're doing, who would you want to be your brand ambassador?
It can be our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, because he is practicing all that we just talked about this.
In your experience, what separates the one-person founders from everyone else?
It's focus, clarity, and dedication.
To become a founder, because you have to let go of a lot of comforts to become one.
In today's world, where social media is driven by noise, distraction, and endless scrolling, a very few platforms are creating something special. Hind Social is one of them. It is just not a social network, it's a platform around Indian culture, values, and community. A space where tradition connects technology and where people come not just to consume but to connect something deeper. From culture and spirituality to knowledge, events, and conversation, Hinge Social is creating an ecosystem around identity, belongings, and purpose. And today, we shall be diving into the mindset, decision, and vision behind building such a similar platform. Because that is what 1% mindset is all about. Most people look at successful brands from the outside. A very few of them really know what's the vision and the risk behind it. So, let me introduce to you the people behind Hind Social. Welcome, Ankit Vyas and Manali Doshi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, guys, before we move ahead, how would you describe Hind Social in a few lines?
So हिंद सोशल एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसको भारतीय माइंडसेट से भारत के द्वारा भारत के लिए बनाया गया है
Okay.
और भारतीय सोच उसके सेंटर में है। नॉर्मली हिस्टोरिकली यही हुआ है कि सारे प्रोडक्ट्स और प्लेटफॉर्म्स जो है वो वेस्ट में बनाए गए हैं, वेस्टर्न माइंडसेट से बनाए गए, उनके रीति रिवाजों और उनके कल्चर को ध्यान में लेके, और उसको यूजुअली इंडियंस अडाप्ट करते हैं अपने लाइफ में।
Mm-hmm.
और पिछले 10-20 साल में इवन सोशल नेटवर्क के लिए भी यही हुआ है। जितने भी सोशल नेटवर्क आज हम यूज़ करते हैं, चाहे वो फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम हो, लिंक्डइन हो, ट्विटर हो, एवरीथिंग इज बिल्ट इन द वेस्ट एंड वी सम हाउ एंडेड अप यूजिंग इट। एंड उसके लिए अगर हमें हमारी लाइफस्टाइल में, हमारे कल्चर में अननोइंगली कोई भी चेंज, बदलाव करने पड़े,
Mm-hmm.
तो हमने उसको कर लिया और आज उसके साथ इतने एडजस्ट हो गए हैं। सो हमने सोचा क्यों ना हम एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बनाएं जिसमें भारतीय भारतीय सोच और भारतीय लाइफस्टाइल और भारतीय कल्चर और भारतीय कम्युनिटी को ही हम सेंटर में रखें और उसके इर्द गिर्द ही चीज़ें हो। सो मेड फॉर इंडिया, मेड इन इंडिया, वो एक कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ हमने हिंद सोशल की शुरुआत
Just like
की।
the constitution of our country, yeah?
Yeah.
For the people, by the people, of the people.
But I also like the idea because जैसा आपने बोला कि वेस्ट ने जो बनाया वो अडॉप्ट हमने किया। सो आई कैन ऑल्सो से इट दिस वे कि आपने जो बनाया वो अब वेस्ट भी अडॉप्ट कर सकता है,
Definitely.
राइट?
वो तो हो ही रहा है ना already. If we see with yoga, with turmeric latte for an instance,
Yes.
that's something which is happening any which case.
I was just speaking to someone a few days ago that धीरे धीरे हमारी माइंडसेट भी वहाँ तक पहुँचना शुरू हो गई।
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And I think this is one of the platform which can really do wonders. And I would really ask all the viewers to learn about Hind Social and become a member of Hind Social, so you can really know how they are defining the culture, the value and the community. Right? So I hope कि by the time ये podcast ख़त्म होता है आप में से कुछ लोग ज्वाइन भी कर लें और आपके कुछ कमेंट्स इस पॉडकास्ट पे भी डालिए अबाउट हिंद सोशल। या सो आई वुड नॉट लाइक टू स्टार्ट विथ अ वेरी अनयूजुअल स्टोरी।
Mm-hmm.
आई वांट टू स्टार्ट विथ जब भी आप कोई स्टार्टअप करते हो, व्हेनेवर यू डू दिस स्टार्टअप, राइट, what was that one decision that did not make sense to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but still you did it?
सो सबसे पहले तो जब भी स्टार्टअप का कोई भी विचार या आइडिया आता है, राइट, सो उस टाइम पे जो हाथ में है ऑलरेडी वो सब चीज़ों को छोड़ के, मतलब आइदर वो जॉब है या तो आपके प्रीवियस बिजनेस है, कोई कंसल्टिंग है, फ्रीलांसिंग है, जो भी है, उसको छोड़ के अगर तुम वो अंदर का जो कॉलिंग है, जो स्पार्क है, वो इतना पावरफुल है कि जो भी कर रहे हो वो सब कुछ आप बुला के आप एक ही मिशन पे लग जाते हो। दैट इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर इन द सक्सेस ऑफ एनी स्टार्टअप, राइट। सक्सेस और फेलियर तो चलो पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ है, बट आपको कभी भी वो रंज नहीं रहेगा कि जहाँ पे आपने, जिस पे भी आपने अपने लाइफ के 2-3-5 साल डाले, 10 साल डाले, वो आपने वेस्ट किए। फेलियर आएगा, सक्सेस आएगा, वो सब पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ है, बट सबसे बड़ा वो फैक्टर मेरे लिए वो है कि वो कॉलिंग ही इतना स्ट्रांग है कि आप दूसरा सब कुछ उसके सामने छोटा लगने लगता है।
So the idea became like, I would say,
जब आइडिया मिशन बन जाए,
हाँ, became like a mission
Yeah.
to make it successful.
Yeah.
And I think that is what today most of the Indian startup community is seeing, right?
Yeah.
हर आइडिया तो हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि सक्सेसफुल हो, but to some extent, even if we can bring ourselves to that platform, I would say the global platform, that what you guys are doing today, standing up to, I would say, according to me, when I look at it, you're standing up to some giants, right? Creating something in competition to them. I think that is something that is really admirable.
Thank you.
And I believe कि वो आपने जो एक जो step लिया which made no one this sense, मतलब अभी तक तो I don't know if somebody has tried it or not, I'm not aware, but that nobody had this idea or sense to create something like this, and you guys did it. Sorry Manali, आप कुछ बोल.
Yes. So to add to what you were saying, I wouldn't say competing.
So let's not start with the usual story.
Okay.
I want to start with this. What's the one decision you took that made sense to no one but changed everything?
Very good question. So obviously, like when we started this, we discussed this with friends, family, and our colleagues and everything, right?
Yep.
Everybody. You know how the mindset in Gujarat is, like paisa kya thi aao se,
Yeah.
where the money will come from, right? And when will be the break even? When will be the profitability? But one leap of faith was taken because the purpose was far bigger than the profit. So that overridden everything, and that was something which changed everything. And
I want you to repeat that statement. Purpose
was bigger than profits.
that is what most of the time a lot of individuals don't understand. So Manali, what do you have to say about it?
So I'd agree with all the points that Ankit just mentioned. I have one more thing that I'd like to add to this.
Please.
And that is, हमें किसी ने last year बताया था, and that is a community leader जिन्हें हम मिलने गए थे for Hind Social and welcoming them on Hind Social. तो उन्होंने बताया था आप जो करने जा रहे हो वो शेर की सवारी जैसा है. It's like riding a lion. If you get off the lion is going to eat you up. And you cannot get off. You have to continue the journey with the faith, with the trust कि the roads are going to unlock for you, open up for you. And अभी तक का experience अगर देखने जाए तो I'm sure Ankit would agree with me on that कि वो वैसा ही रहा है.
Yes.
There are roadblockers that come and things automatically start opening up in a better way than we would have even thought of.
But I believe that's a part of the journey when you're trying to do something different.
Absolutely.
It's unless until you don't face those hurdles, those challenges, those obstacles, I think you won't reach where you really want to reach, right? Because most of the individual, they exit after a bit of pain. But what you guys are really doing, I believe it's going to still be an extensive pain, challenges and obstacles that's still going to come on your road. And I believe together you guys have to still stick to that plan and keep going.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it's excellent. But the current example that you just shared about the
शेर की सवारी.
शेर की सवारी. Why do you think people see it like that?
So it is not a small idea, right? As you mentioned earlier as well. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि it's not a transactional thing that we are going for. तो business जैसा नहीं है. It is a moonshot, as Ankit keeps mentioning.
Yes.
कि चांद पे जाने के लिए कि ख्वाहिश सबकी होती है, उसके लिए जो efforts लगती है. And
और चांद पे जाने के लिए तुम निकल गए, फिर आपके पास एक ही रास्ता होता है, पहुंचना है. You can't like return back.
But do you think that this issue is here, not in the West? Like the mindset for supporting startups at some point of time or giving them that push or a pat on the back saying, yes, this is a brilliant idea. It may take time, but you guys should still walk the path and you will reach it. A mindset तुमने यहाँ मड़ा ऐसा करी?
Difficult. India as a country, we are still operating out of survival, right? And the thing is, until we don't change our mindset from survival to abundance, right? That kind of investors or that kind of ecosystem who believe you, not based on your profitability or break even, but they believe you based on your mission and vision. It's rare.
and
I
your
won't say it's-
readiness to work at it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first part.
That's the first part, because mission और vision सबका होता है, मतलब वो
सबका होता
सपने जैसा हो जाता है,
Yes, yes, yes.
उस पे
Dream
काम
to
करना।
reality.
Yes, exactly.
So, at that point of time, when somebody comments something like this, like what Manali just shared, at that point of time, what is your mindset? Like, how do you take that? How strongly would you take that?
So, fortunately, we have our businesses and our cash flow, which is giving us that liberty to invest in an idea like this,
Okay.
right? And we have bootstrapped it so far, and we are willing to bootstrap it even in the future. So, but I would say ये सब हर कोई इतना फॉर्चुनेट नहीं होता. कई लोगों के लिए ये पहला स्टार्टअप ही अगर जो मूनशॉट हुआ तो उस टाइम पे उनको उस टाइम के इन्वेस्टर्स की और फंडिंग की ज़रूरत होती है अर्ली स्टेज में भी.
Yeah, I know a lot of friends of mine also who are into the startup industry, but different industries like what you are. And today, they all have this query or question that the ability of the market, like normally we say that you need consumer to consume your product.
Yeah.
India already has one of the biggest population,
Yes.
Yeah.
but still, जैसे आपने कहा, but still, that support, that understanding that this idea can make it because of the market still lacks. So somewhere it's contradictory, right? Because if we have to consume the market, we have the product like Hind Social, but still it's taking us time, or it's taking people time to consume that, right? और एक है कि जहाँ पे लोग बाहर से, जैसे initially you said कि Facebook, all these people who have come from the West, and our market has already been occupied or captured by them.
Yeah.
So how do you see that
So they-
scenario?
So can I take this one?
Yes, please.
इसमें it's very much like I would say as representative of Hind Social कि हमारे पे डिपेंड करता है हम उसे कितना टू द मार्केट दिखा पा रहे हैं.
Okay.
Right? I would not want to point it as a failure of anybody else, but it would be our learning curve कि हम उसे कितने अच्छी तरह से मार्केट में बता पा रहे हैं. Like today morning I came and she being my very good friend, we had not spoken about it. I was surprised at that. So I would look at that and start working on that.
Evaluating
my own behaviors कि कैसे improve कर सकते हैं उसे. So maybe for a starter is that. And yes, as you rightly mentioned, when we are talking about any other giants, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or any other Western platform, for them as well, it wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
It wasn't built in a decade as well, for that matter. Right? It took its own sweet time, but they were persistent. That is the most essential part.
And that's what I think every startup needs to have.
Absolutely. That patience and persistence is most essential.
So Ankit bhai, what do most founders get completely wrong?
I feel I have seen a lot of founders start working on something which market don't require
Okay.
or market is not ready for.
Okay.
So they consider their own problem as the problem of the world.
Okay.
They start working on it. Is one big mistake everyone do. So usually whenever you start working on you back your idea with some sort of research, right? You meet your stakeholder, you meet your potential customers, you meet your potential users, you show something, you take feedback, and then you get confident about it and start building it. A problem is most of the startup founders are engineers and techies, right? And they normally have a tendency, whenever they get an idea, they start working on it immediately without taking a pause, doing some sort of research or ideation or refinement or strategy. They immediately jump on the solution, thinking that this is the solution.
Okay.
This is a big mistake most of the founder do.
So can we also say that I have seen most ideas, including in few of the industries that I am, that any idea that starts before time also leads to failure. You need to understand the right timing for the idea to implement it.
True.
Yeah.
And you need to know at that point of time that if I start the idea now, what's going to be my carrying cost from here till I succeed? Or if I delay the idea, what is it that I'm losing? Maybe a bit of the market cap, but then if there are similar platforms to support it as competition, then I may have to put in a bit more money to capture the market rather than being the first mover, and then I'll be able to achieve it.
Yeah.
So that timeline is something that we need to keep in mind.
Yes, I think timing is very, very important. And I think I saw a research shown in a TED talk where they analyzed like 1,000 startups, their journey and their reason of failure. And more than 60% startups fail because of the wrong timing.
Wrong timing.
So a good idea before time or a good idea after time is after time you need to go with a disruption approach where you have a deeper pocket to disrupt the existing market.
Existing market.
So after going behind the time has a certain advantage. You will not repeat the mistakes people have done.
Yes.
You do everything correct. You have deeper pockets and you can disrupt the market. But an idea before the time has a huge risk involved. It's similar to riding the wave, right? When you are surfing, you wait for the right wave, and whenever that wave comes, your timing of climbing on your surfboard is very, very important.
So
Yeah.
on that basis, just a very quick question. How would you say that these days I meet a lot of startups that try communicating, stating that we are the first mover advantage. We have the first mover advantage. So does it make any difference if you are the first mover?
Yeah.
Does it help in more valuation? Does it help in more profits rather than waiting for some time and doing it later?
So it's not. So basically, first mover advantage helps when you are in the market at right time with the right product,
Not before time.
not before time.
Okay. So you have to identify the timing.
Yes.
So now I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Who first said, let's actually do this?
It was her. During the meditate days, it was her realization, I would say.
So, with Meditate, when we started that as a meditation studio, all of our friends, family, and the people we knew were of the opinion कि यहाँ पे तो सारे senior citizens आने वाले हैं.
Okay.
Like, get ready to serve the boomers. And we were like, okay, so be it. And to our greatest surprise, on the contrary, it was exactly the opposite. Most of the people who showed up at Meditate were Gen Zs or a few millennials also, we can say,
Yeah.
right? Like up until the age of 40, 45, who were going through midlife crisis and things like that. So, उनसे जब interact किया, बात किया, तो we got to know that where is the gap? ये क्यों हो रहा है? Like, in my childhood days, I don't remember listening to anyone talking about depression, anxiety or stress. ऐसा नहीं था कि उस टाइम पे कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी,
Anyhow, there was,
right?
Yeah.
but we had a very different way of handling it.
And even the generation before, right? Like our parents would have had their share of difficulties, but they never
Sure.
used such terminologies. Why has it become so prevalent in today's times?
So was that the moment where you guys realized that now this is no more an idea and now let's take it to execution?
No, later I would say, later when everything was connecting back to the tendency of comparing your life with others' life
Okay.
and having identity crisis on social media, where we grown up in a non-social media environment, right? Where the current generation has grown up in a social media environment where it's a very big part of their overall existence,
Okay.
right? And that's the place where people post their 1% of good times.
Mm-hmm.
If your 1,000 friends will post 1% of their good time, you will always feel that my life is not good. I'm
Or not
nobody.
good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good enough, and and nothing good is happening to me. So all those kind of thoughts basically instigate the current issues of stress, anxiety, depression, etc.
So, in that case, how does Hinge Social help the Gen Zs? How is it different than
Hinge,
any other platform?
so Hind Social is different because Hind Social is operating in the same way जैसे Indian society हमेशा से function करती आई है.
Yeah.
If we roll back couple of thousand years ago, then Indian society was always a combination of different communities.
Okay.
It was never cities, states, or centralized approach. Indian society has thrived through decades, through centuries, right? हम 500 साल पुरानी, 1000 साल या 2000 साल पुरानी भी बात करें. It has thrived because of the communities.
Okay.
And Hind Social is exactly the same approach. Hind Social is a platform for all the communities to communicate and to have their digital presence.
So, do you really think that this Gen Zs would really be interested on such a platform?
Of course, the sense of belongingness is the biggest aspect which makes a person rooted.
Yeah.
The problem is uprooting,
Yeah.
which nobody is talking about.
And do you really feel that this generation has the sense of belonging?
I would totally say yes.
Yes.
अपने अभी अगर वो भजन क्लबिंग या भजन सोशल सुना होगा, I'm sure which is trending a lot these days, right?
Okay.
So what is that? सत्संग बोलते थे जिसे, उसी को मॉडर्न वर्जन बना के
Bhajan
वही
social
वापस आ
movement.
रहा है.
Okay.
So in fact, Gen Zs need it far more than it ever needed before. Probably our generation or the generation before us did not need it as much. वो transient generation हो गई, and Gen Zs are in fact adapting it in a much better way. And that's also why, if you would see, Bollywood is also investing heavily into it.
Okay.
The kind of Bollywood movies that we are seeing with the religious figures, right? Narsimha thi,
Yeah.
right? Kalki hai. So these movies, why are they attracting so much audience? Why are they doing so beautifully? So of course they very much want it.
So, do you really think that such platforms
Mhm.
would be able to contribute towards the more development of the Gen Zs against the issues like anxiety, depressions, what they're facing today?
So as Ankit mentioned, कि problem कोई है ही नहीं. It is like आप पौधे को उसके जड़ से निकाल दोगे. If you remove the plant from its roots, what
Mhm.
would happen? The plant is going to perish.
Yes.
If it stays intact with its root, then you just remove it from one pot and replant it to another pot, it's still going to flourish. So शायद कहीं ना कहीं इंडिया में अभी जो प्रॉब्लम है, जो उन्होंने uprooting की बात बताई, that's exactly where it is, because their majority of the time is on social platforms. जो Indian platforms है ही नहीं, right? It is a Western platform built with a Western culture and Western thought process.
And even if we talk about the algorithms behind it, they are designed to give you the dopamine rush. They're the kind of content which is promoted is something which make you chase more and more in life. Okay, it is not satisfaction oriented. It is more of a hunger oriented, which will instigate your hunger to achieve more. And the meaning of success they are defining is having a big bungalow, car, going on a foreign destination for vacation. This has become the definition of success, where nobody is talking about
The real success.
real success. So I think success is something where you get satisfaction, and that's why it's subjective for everyone,
Everyone.
right?
And that's how it had always been in India, right? Like अगर आप Indian culture को देखने जाए हम, भारतीय संस्कृति जिसे बोलते हैं, it was always about doing your karma first, right? Rather than waiting for the outcome that is. So instead of focusing on our rights, if we start focusing on our duties again, then there is no problem in
So-
reality.
I like what you said, that the idea, the concept was based upon the foundation, that's the roots.
Yeah.
That today most of them, like, they don't have the roots itself, so that's creating more problem. Have you ever tried to market this idea on the similar platform on a larger scale? Because I like the concept saying that you're not supposed to lose your roots, your grounds.
Yeah.
And that is, I think that is one way. Have you ever tried communicating this to the Gen Zs in a larger fashion, saying this can really help you if you stay connected to the roots?
Yes, we did. It was a TEDx talk, and we had addressed to the students of
Yeah.
that university.
So she has delivered a TEDx talk later in 2025, I think December 25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the whole TEDx is about the routes before routes. So before you take your routes, at least think about your roots. You need to think about like we are rooted enough or not. And rahi baat marketing ki, right? So marketing itself is a very Western concept, right? We believe in awareness. So we marketing basically it's nudging. We don't nudge. We developed a platform. We just make people aware that this platform exists. And people who are conscious, people who are aware, they will be automatically coming on a platform like this.
Yeah, because I like the idea about aware means bringing that awareness of the roots.
Yeah.
I think that's the foundation.
Yeah.
And this I believe this is what, if we can really give them,
Yeah.
then even they can do wonders if they can get connected to their roots.
Of course.
Next question would be, was there any kind of a fear at some point of time that you guys thought of stopping this idea?
I think couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, couple of times in last 2 years that kind of moment came where we are like, we are thinking that what we are doing, right?
Questioning the whole
questioning.
idea.
So at that point of time, what was your mindset? How did you come out of it? Did you talk to your community friends? Did you talk to your close ones? Did you try taking an advice of somebody or experience? Like, how did you come out of that particular fear to still continue to this idea?
We just closed our eyes and meditated over it.
That's an
The answers were inside.
Okay. Yeah. How would you say this in a better way to somebody who is right now creating an idea?
So I think whatever people will give as their opinion or suggestion, right? It will be their perception about it. It won't be the reality. So reality is right within you.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of in a lot of aspects, instead of connecting with the outer world for solving a problem, rather than that, if you connect with your inner world, the answers lies within you. You just need to need to connect with yourself, and figure it out.
So to that, अपने में वो बोलते हैं पता है that there is a universe within us, right? Like just like we have the universe outside, there's a universe within us as well.
Yes.
तो उससे connect करे, उससे जवाब मिल ही जाता है. No matter whatever the question is, whatever the problem is.
I would say that is completely right to the extent of where you guys are today. But how would you say this to somebody who is between the age of 20 to 25, started up an idea and facing the similar situation? Because today's generation, to get them into, meditation and all this, and I know it carries a lot of importance. So what kind of a message would you say to them,
So I would say just 3 words: patience, persistence, and discipline.
Okay.
Startup में बहुत ज़रूरी है
Never
ये
give
3
up.
चीज़.
And I think they meditate far more than we do. They're far more connected to themselves. So one thing I like about, if we are talking about Gen Zs or Gen Alphas coming in, right? वो लोग उनके दिल की आवाज़ सुनते हैं. If you would notice, they're not as much of a people pleaser as the previous generations were. They're more true to themselves.
Okay.
which is good in a way. क्योंकि वो अपने आप से connected है. That means they know where and how they have to be. हाँ, फिर कुछ होते हैं उसमें से जो shortcuts ढूंढते रहते हैं. And that goes with every generation, right? So, connecting with yourself, I think, is the most essential.
Most essential.
Yeah.
Most essential.